Hey guys, Macy here, the Bright Side Girl, and welcome back to the Bright Side. Today we're doing my February reading wrap up. So these are going to be only the books that I physically read for March. My audiobook wrap up, which is a lot bigger, will be up tomorrow. Once it's available, I'll put the link up here in the cards and you can click that little eye and check it out. But for now, we're going to talk about my physical reads. So I actually only finished 2 physical books in March and 1 novella, and then I DNF'd a book. So we're going to start with the DNF and go from there. So I decided to DNF Wintertown by Stephen Amond. This is a contemporary book, and one of the reasons that I wanted to pick it up, despite the fact that I don't love contemporary books, is there are a lot of cool graphics. It's got like some graphic novel-y vibes in it as well to kind of go with what's happening. I read about 50 pages and to me it's just kind of one of those contemporary books that I don't really love. I do want you guys to let me know if this does like take a turn and do something really cool that you think that I will really enjoy. But I'm probably gonna unhaul it for now and DNF it because one, it's a paperback. I only like to keep these for like the beach and the sauna, and then I collect hardbacks if I like them. And so I'm gonna DNF this one. I might pick it up again if I find the hardback or if you guys tell me that you like it, but it's a DNF for now. Then I finally read Memento by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. So this was a pre-order incentive for Aurora Rising, their newest book that came out last year. Was the only book that I pre-ordered last year, specifically because you got this, which is part of the Illuminae files, and it's a prequel to that, and it's following Aiden, the like AI character of one of the ships. So, and Illuminae Files is probably one of my top 10 favorite series of all time. The only downside to this was I was like, well, I'm not going to have the audio to listen to at the same time because this series is told in file formats and like chat logs and even journal entries and stuff like that. And so the audiobook is a full cast recording and it has sound effects, and they're so amazing to listen to together. This, of course, because it's a special novella, and I don't even think you can get this from your library or anything, like it was just an incentive. I would guess in the future they'll probably release this as an actual novella. They said they won't, but my guess is they probably will. This was wonderful. If you could borrow this from a friend or get your hands on it on eBay, I would highly recommend getting it if you really love the Illuminae files. This made me want to immediately reread the trilogy all over again. I was shocked how tiny this is, first of all. It's 80 pages, but it is very, very small. I was shocked how invested I was in these new characters that I'd never met before and the story that was happening and how it got my heart racing, and that ending, and it explains things in the other book. Like, you definitely don't have to read this to like the other series or understand it, but the ending in this was just incredible, and 5 stars, so great. I'm really mad because this is not on Goodreads, so I can't mark it as like a to-read book, and I'm like, I technically read 80 pages. I should get to count it as a book, but I am glad that I got to it finally. I was just kind of putting it off. I don't really know why. Then the last 2 things that I read, I'm super excited to talk to you guys about. So I finally got to Warcross by Marie Lu. This was my first introduction into Marie Lu. I decided to go with this one because I'm doing a video that revolves kind of around some of the content in here. So this is about our main character, Amika, I think is how you pronounce her name. And she is a bounty hunter in the future, and there is this really big virtual reality game that everyone is like really into and watches, and there's like players that come to play and all this kind of stuff, and they make a lot of money. And she is a bounty hunter kind of for people that try to like cheat in the world, and also for some other things. That's how she like makes her money. She's got a lot of back dues because her father died and owed a bunch of money, and so she's kind of like gotten really good at bounty hunting because she needed to. And she was watching / playing the game during a big like event they were having that was like everyone was watching it, and she did something kind of illegal and got caught and kind of gets like swept up into this world. So this is so good. I loved it. I do not understand why I like video game books so much for the most part. This is the kind of video game virtual reality book that I love. So I just really enjoyed it. I loved our character. She was spunky, she was different, she has rainbow colored hair. There was a romance in here that was really unexpected and excellent. There were a couple of major plot twists, which I wasn't expecting, that were also excellent. I loved learning about the video game world and all the like futuristic things. We're in Japan for a lot of this book, which was really fun and really different. And yeah, I just super enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. I can't wait to read the next one. I haven't gotten to it yet because of the next book that I'm about to talk about, but I do plan on getting to it in March. It's like one of my high priorities because it's only a duology, so I'll be complete, and I really loved it. So I wound up giving this one, I think, 4 stars. And then lastly, haha, I finally got to A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. I feel so accomplished whenever I read like a super hyped book that I've been putting off for a long time or that everyone has read. And I do believe at this current point in time, out of all the TBR books I had, I think this was the most popular one that I hadn't read, obviously, because it's a TBR book. So I feel super accomplished that I finally got to it. Obviously this book is somewhat polarizing now, but I think that's only because it's gotten to a level of popularity that very, very high number of people know about it and are reading it. And whenever that happens, there's going to be more polarizing views because some people read it just to judge it. Other people read it when they may not like it just because it's so popular and all that kind of stuff. This is a new adult book, so it definitely has some sexual content and adult themes in here. It had less than I was actually expecting, and it had way more of a plot than I was expecting, so that was good. This is not just like a straight smut book. You're not reading this just for that kind of entertainment. It is definitely a very well developed, in my opinion, fantasy world. So this is about our lead character, Feyre, and she is in the mortal world, and we have a awareness of fairies, and there is a wall that kind of separates the two. This is kind of told like it's in the past, but it's not really specified on what time period it is. But she lives in like a cabin and they have to hunt for food and things like that. She's kind of been in charge of taking care of her family because her dad has like an injury and kind of has given up after her mom has passed away. And so she's the one that like hunts food and kind of gets things organized and put together. One day shoots a wolf, doesn't realize or kind of doesn't care that it might be a fairy, and it winds up being a fairy. And because of certain laws in fairyland, she gets swept away and taken away from her family and put into fairyland. So this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I thought it was going to be a lot looser of a retelling than it is, but it was actually very, very heavily Beauty and the Beast in my personal opinion, at least compared to Throne of Glass, which is her other series, which was like loosely based on Cinderella, which I saw like almost no comparisons for. And I really enjoyed it. I definitely understand the criticism and things that people may not like about this. There were a couple of plot points or a couple of lines and things that I was kind of like, okay. Definitely have like a strong dominating male character in here, but I think Feyre herself is very strong, and the last portion of this book really surprised me, all the things that she had to do and go through and accomplish, and I really liked it, and I'm so happy. So I will have a vlog coming out about this. I was gonna do a whole vlog about the whole trilogy plus Court of Frost and Starlight, but I decided just to come out with just this book's vlog because I think I'll get it up faster and my timeline of vlogs won't be messed up, which I'll explain later. But I'll be having a vlog coming out about this in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that if you're interested. It's kind of just my reading journey. Yeah, I've already started A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm 120 pages in. It's really helping with my reading slumpiness, which is great, because I am just kind of reading slower and less often now than I have been in the past. But I love this. I wound up giving this like 4.5 stars just for my personal enjoyment. Like, I just kind of look at a book as how I enjoy it. It doesn't have to be perfectly written, or it doesn't have to do certain things. It just has to be something that I really enjoy and I feel attached to the characters and the world and everything, and I definitely was. So for me, it was 4.5 stars. And I'm so happy that I can join you guys on the fandom now and I don't have to hide from spoilers. So that's it. That's unfortunately all I got to reading this month. I actually started a couple of other things and just haven't finished them yet. I hope you guys still find these separate videos enjoyable even though I'm reading less, so let me know down below in the comments, because I really do like keeping them separate, because I still did listen to 6+ audiobooks in February, and so that would be just a really giant video if I talked about all of these things at once. And just for my own like organized heart, I like kind of separating them out. I have been reading slower, but it is getting better. I've just been doing a lot and then either falling asleep super early or being really bad about watching TV and listening to stuff before I go to bed instead of reading. And sometimes we just need to do that. So I definitely predict a much better reading year going forward, and I'm excited about that. So let me know what you guys read in February that you really enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time on The Bright Side.